Hello, everyone. Can you see me? Okay, so my name is Lizat Kinesova, and I'm a peer advisor at Academic Advising Unit. And I'm welcoming you to the second part of the MentorCon. Today we will discuss and hear the experiences of our junior and senior students on the topic of the internships. They will share the experience on how and where they found the internships, or what to look for when choosing internship, and other interesting aspects. So without further ado, we will start with Alia Tleugenova. Alia Tleugenova is a senior political science and international relationship student, and the topic of your presentation is Kazakhstan Foreign Investors Council Association in CARNEGIE, Moscow. Alia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Lizat. So I will ask you to stop screen sharing. Thank you. So hello, everyone again. My name is Alia, and I'm very glad that you was able to come today and listen to our presentations. So today I wanted to share with you two opportunities that I was able to go through. These are internship at Foreign Investors Council and at Carnegie Moscow Center. I decided to share these two because they seem to me that they kind of overlap very different activities, very different types of activities, and thus the set of skills that I was able to obtain from there also varies greatly. And I think that this is kind of the most important thing for us to learn while we're coming to an internship, to understand what we like and what we don't like. So yeah, let's start. So first of all, why do we need internships? The important thing is that at Nazarbayev University, especially if you're a social science student or a humanities student, we mostly get to understand our subjects from a theoretical perspectives, while the applicable knowledge, the skills that we will actually have to use when we graduate from NU are mostly acquired during such internships. And I think it's very important to go through at least one during your bachelor's degree. So after going to an internship, you will understand and get some sense of what is possible career path that you can take, and you can understand what you like doing and what you don't like doing, and thus far you will shape kind of your career paths accordingly. You will also gain a necessary set of skills so that the employer will likely see you as a necessary employee, and you will have a better chances to get a certain job. Also, it's very important to gain experience because simply it's important, it looks good on your CV, and your employers again will see that you have some experience and you are someone who can be sort of trusted because you sort of know what kind of things you're doing and what you have to do. Also, it is not less important to establish your network of professionals in your field, and through that network, through the employers, through the co-workers that you will get to know during your internships, you will sort of understand and get to know what are the possible ways you could develop your career further. You can understand how to get a certain job. You will have better access to the vacancies that are open then, because most of the vacancies, especially the ones that are good enough, are shared not on open platforms, but are firstly shared among the closed network of professionals. And this is a very good chance for you to know certain people who could be kind of useful for you to get a possibility to get a job or internship further. And lastly, but not less important, is that you will be able to ask recommendations letters from your employers. And these are just as important because you will need those recommendations letters for further job applications, or if you go to master's degree or PhD degrees. These are very important, and these recommendations letters sort of will be able to open up your personality and your professional skills and personal skills to a prospective employer, and they will be more likely kind of to hire you after a good recommendation. The first one, so I got an internship after the second year of political science and international relations, and I got an internship at Kazakhstan Foreign Investors Council Association. So this is the Permanent Secretariat of Foreign Investors Council that is chaired by President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and is an advisory body established in order to promote dialogue between the government of Kazakhstan and foreign investors. So the main mission of this council is to address the key issues that are related to investment and investing client, and to improve the climate so that more investors could come to Kazakhstan and could invest in our industries. Yes, so I went to internship at there. What I did, this is probably the most important thing, and so because like we usually hear that this person went there to an internship, but we rarely understand what these people actually did at those internships. So here I want to talk about my three main things that I had to do, that my main responsibilities. So we organized, there were 3 interns, including me at the time, and we organized in cooperation with government bodies FIC plenary session, which is the main session, an annual session where all
А на русском теперь можно?
This was the main session that is actually organized in order for kind of the FIC to have its annual summaries, to meet all the representatives from the government side and from the member companies side. And what we did for this plenary session is that we prepared working materials. This is basically what every member who was sitting at the table with the president had in their hands. It included all the materials, all the developments that were during this year concerning investment climate and concerning every certain company that's a member of FIC. We also liaised with member companies and government entities. We had to certainly have a constant communication with them, and this was quite important actually. So we also organized bilateral meetings with the president and the prime minister. These meetings were held with the top officials of member companies like ExxonMobil, for example, and all these members of companies came to Kazakhstan at the time, and they had to meet with either the president or the prime minister. So we also coordinated regular working groups meetings in their activities, which was sort of apart from, which was apart from the FAC plenary session. And also when the plenary session ended, we worked on strategic planning for the FAC and for the secretariat itself. So it was also very interesting, and we had to understand how these kind of organizations actually develop. So what are the skills that I gained after this internship? I certainly understood how to do correspondence. This is sustaining like communication via letters that we had to write, had to print out, and then send to, it mostly were government entities. So it was really interesting to see how the language there worked, how we had to respond and reply, and etc. So it was really interesting, and I think it's kind of useful if you certainly want to, you know, that you want to go to work in government entities and government bodies. Also, license, again, as I said, it's quite important to constantly be in contact with other government entities with whom you're working, and with other member companies and people who are kind of in contact with you there. So you kind of have to establish human contact and actually kind of know these people. And yes, so this is also quite important for organizations like that. Another part is that we learn how to work with documents. Although it seems quite manual and not really necessary, it's still important. Again, if you're going to work in government entities or any international organizations, or basically any work, I guess it certainly involves working with documents. So understanding how to properly do all that job is very important as well. So we also got to do some translation for the working materials and the logistics. As again, I said that we organized bilateral meetings with the president, with the prime minister. So we had to make sure that they're coming on time, that they're coming to the right venue. So it was very important to make sure that everything is on track. So this is it, I guess, for the Foreign Investors Council, and we can now go proceed to Carnegie Moscow. So you might probably heard about Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. This is a global think tank, and it has 6 main global centers, and Carnegie Moscow is one of them. So this is a center that provides in-depth analysis and insights on complex issues facing Russia and countries of former Soviet Union. And it specifically focuses on evidence-based, nonpartisan research. And Carnegie Moscow has 3 main priorities. These include Russian domestic politics and political institutions, foreign policy and security strategy, and Russia in the Asia-Pacific. I specifically worked in Russia in the Asia-Pacific program. And again, what I did there, the most important part of my job, I guess, it was about writing weekly for China Digest newsletter. This is a digest newsletter prepared by the top experts, Alexander Gabuyev of the Carnegie Moscow Center, who specializes on China studies. And so each week we had to pick out the most important topics and developments that had occurred during the week, and write short pieces on that to include for the digest. The digest is quite famous among the policymakers, as well as Kazakhstani policymakers and China analysts and scholars. We also helped Carnegie Moscow experts with their research. We supported social media pages, and again, weekly we compiled the most recent news and developments and research that has occurred in the field of our interest, and this for this kind of an internal digest for all members, experts of Carnegie Moscow. So what skills I gained at that internship? Firstly, and most importantly, I guess, it's writing. And despite I had quite, I would not say good, but they were okay writing skills at NU. But still, what we usually write is minimum 1,000 words and maximum 5,000 to 7,000 words. And this is not what is so kind of demanded in the field, actually, and what I got to understand during my internship at Carnegie is that we have to understand how to write concisely, yet how to make people understand what you want to say quite clearly and concisely and shortly, and not to go to over 1,000 words. So this is very important. And I also understand that what news are important and worth sharing, worth writing about, what are not quite important, which is also a huge skill, I think, especially considering what kind of huge flow of information we were hit by every day. Also research skills, again, I quite upgraded them just as well. I got a better understanding of China and the Asia Pacific region. We also had a lot of workshops by Carnegie Moscow fellows, which were very interesting and very useful. And we also got to understand how quite a powerful tool Twitter is for research purposes, as a lot of analysts and experts are actually sitting in Twitter and are specific development. So this is very important. Take note of that if you're interested in international relations. So in summary, I wanted to say that internships are actually the best way to understand what you want to do in the future. So don't hesitate to take any internship at all, and try to kind of accumulate this body of experience you have. Then in order to have an internship, you have to monitor companies and organizations that you're interested in case they're hiring anybody for an internship or any other position. And also, it's very important that you share your opportunities and vacancies that you find with your friends, and your friends do just the same. And also do not be afraid to apply, because I understand that you may not always be like the most appropriate, so to say, candidate for a certain position, but still try to apply. People are not looking for 100% like similarity with their requirements. So do not hesitate, just try to apply, and then you'll see what happens next. So yeah, and a few resources, just constantly monitor LinkedIn to understand what is the labor market at the time, what are the vacancies, what people are filling in those vacancies with what experience, and so on. Also monitor Facebook and Facebook pages of your favorite companies and so on, because they often use this platform to share some positions and vacancies as well. And the Carnegie RU and FACKZ are just the pages where I had an internship, so you can just check them out just as well. Carnegie RU also has this this button where they're telling that they are hiring someone, so check it out just as well. And that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. I will stop sharing now, and if you have any questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat or voice them. You're welcome. Okay, if we don't have any questions, I guess we can proceed today.
Thank you, Alia. I'm sorry for the little inconveniences. Thank you for such wonderful presentation. And I think there's a question in the chat for you. Is it possible to get internship after the first year?
It is possible, of course it is, but what a lot of employers usually, like what their reasoning is that first-year students are not experienced as well, they don't really know much. But I wouldn't say that there's kind of a huge difference between a first-year student and a second-year student, while they're hiring a lot of second-year students. So again, don't hesitate and try to apply to any position that you see. I don't know how it will be this year, but actually CEC, Career Advising Center, in spring, usually by the end of the semester, they open up positions from positions like internship positions in Senate or the Ministry of External Affairs. And I'm sure that you will be able to have all the requirements that are needed there to apply. So if there are any open positions, just try to apply.
Thank you, Alia, for your answer. And thank you for your presentation. I think now we can go to our next presenter. Our next mentor is Dana Gabitova. She is a senior economics student, and she will tell us how and where to find internship.
Thank you very much. Once again, hi everyone. My name is Dana and I'm senior economics student. So now I'll share my screen to show you my presentation. So let's start. How and where to find an internship. First, I'd like to talk about my experience in internships. So firstly, it was in Chingish Royal. I don't know if you know about this. It is a joint venture between Republic of Kazakhstan and Chevron. And it's the world's deepest producing supergiant oil field. So the experience that I gained there, actually, I cannot tell all the details because everything is private. However, I got into supply chain management department and worked in the contract and strategic procurement of professional services. So here, I managed how to check and choose suppliers for the company. So in this department, mostly there are alumni of economics and PSIR majors. So as an economics student, I was there. However, they work with different kinds of contracts, and also therefore I worked with human resources management, proceeded huge number of documentation and entered information into databases. So as an intern, I did not have much access to their private information because they work with special cards linked to their names. And with my card, I couldn't access much of the databases. However, they showed me how everything works. And the second experience was in National Management Holding by Tirek. As you know, there are only 3 holdings in Kazakhstan: Samur-Kazna, Kazagro, and Bayterek. So this is one of them. And their mission is to support sustainable economic development of the Republic of Kazakhstan. And the holding employs 11 subsidiaries. Probably most of you know Bank Развития Казахстана, Damu, Жилстрой, Сбербанк. So all of these subsidiaries are under this national management holding. And from the past experience, I really liked how the human management department works. That is why I applied directly to this department. And I organized and presented a range of documents, and also human resource management also works on organizing different events. So I was also part of it. So I want, and also, except from these two internships, I also had an internship in individual entrepreneurship, IP. So it is a bit smaller experience, so I didn't include it here. However, today my main topic is about how to find internship and how to apply to the internships. So firstly, get your CV organized, have your CV like well structured, include your education, your GPA, probably you'll need it, experience and extracurricular activities. So without CV, it will be hard to apply to the internships because the employers need to know who you are, what you've been doing, and something like that. And the next step is to find the internship. There are 3 ways to find the internship. Firstly, CAC, probably most of you know Career Advising Center. So register on this website and subscribe, because this center sends a lot of opportunities to the people, to subscribers. And apart from the opportunities, they also have mock interviews and the workshops on how to write CV and all this stuff. The second way of finding the internships, it's monitoring all the emails. I mean, all the emails, because there are like a lot of opportunities actually in our emails, and I know most of the students do not properly check all the messages that they receive. However, from my experience, I was able to get to United Nations, I could work with the United Nations during Expo, thanks to the emails that we got. So always monitor them. and all the instructions will be included in that mails. And the third one, contact HR department of the company you would like to intern in, like to get an internship directly. I mean, just that's what I do. I just find a place where I want to get an internship, and on their websites, there are mostly their email address, something like HR and stuff. I want to be internship in that department because I want to and attach your CV and send this email. I mean, like, I think that's the most proper way of getting an internship. I mean, the most effective way of getting an internship. And wait for the response. And if it's taking too long, just send a reminder like, could you please consider my application, something like that. And mostly they answer back, like with the messages like, wait a little bit, or we are considering your application, something like that. So, and also another opportunity of internship is Astana International Finance Center. Actually, I got this internship, but it was at the same time with my internship in Biotech, so I need to reject. However, most of our students go to this place to get an experience. So I want to finish my presentation with this. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask about finding internship, about my experience and stuff. If you don't have any questions, you may write to the chat also, and we'll proceed to the next. There is a question, can extracurricular activities until university be included in the CV, or you recommend it only from university year? So first of all, if you are a first year student or foundation year student or second year student, I would recommend to include your activities during high school, because in the university probably you don't have much of like experience, so you may include, but after the third or fourth years, just include what you've done during the university years. What about credit internships and CEDS? So I don't know about SETs because I'm an economics student. However, I do know about credit internships. So first of all, you need to find an internship. After you find an internship, you'll need to contact the school office of your school. What they do, there are some procedures that you need to go through, like signing some documents, and CAC will sign a contract with the company that you are going to have an internship in. So there are some procedures. Just contact the school office after finding the internship. It will take only about 1 week to do all these documentations, and it should be done before the semester. So if you have any more detailed information, write me. So after first, what internship did you have after first year? Actually, I had one internship after first year, but it was because of the misunderstanding. I mean, most of the employers would like to hire students after the third year of the undergraduate studies, because these students will have some background information, like background knowledge, basic knowledge, how to say it, all this stuff in order to work. So I recommend you to have internships after the second year, and also all the credit bearing internships are also done after the second year of studies. Did you find the AFC internship from CAC? Yes, firstly, we received this information from CAC, from Career Advising Center, and secondly, I've heard it from my friends who have been already, who were already interns in this center. So HR department can find you an internship considering your CV, right? No, it's not like they find you an internship. You just write to the human resources management department of the company with your motivation. Like, I want to be an intern in this department because la la la. I'm this kind of person. I'm attaching my CV. Please consider my application. So after that, they send your mail to the department, to the needed department, and they will consider you. Like, I mean, they do not find you, they will consider you and send your mail to the person who will consider you. Next, what we have here. I mean, when we are working there, or we can contact them and ask after some time when we need it. I do not actually understand your question.
There was a part that I wrote you. I'm asking, did we, yeah,
recommendation
my
letters.
question. Yes, so do we like have to ask them while we are working there, so in advance, or maybe we do internship and after we've already worked there and quit the internship, and we need a recommendation, so we ask before the internship or after the internship, or we can ask during.
So firstly, if you work, like if all the internships is done and you already quitted the job, and then you ask, there's a possibility that they will not remember you. So I would recommend you to inform them in advance, like when you are finishing your internship, you can just say thank you very much, and could you please in the future give me the recommendation letter when I need it, or something like that. Just talk to them, just ask them. I think it will be better than just contacting them after a year of, like, after the year passed. Okay, do you understand me? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Change. Oh wait, it's not okay. Thank you. In your opinion, what was important in your CV? Do you have any tips in getting internship? So, I think in getting the internship, the most important thing is also your motivation, like why you need this internship, why you are applying to this internship, something like that. Because most of the students do not have like huge experience and before the internship, so do not how to say, don't think that CV is the most important thing when applying to internships. It's not it. It's your motivation, it's your willingness to work, it's your energy, I would say, and your personality. Can you list what extracurricular do you think are valuable to have participation on clubs? I think participation on clubs is valuable because it helps you to get in, how to say, you will be able to work in a team. I mean, this is the most important thing while getting an internship, because you'll need to work with a lot of people, you'll need to contact them, you'll need to, how to say, cooperate with everyone. So including an participation in student clubs is also an important thing, I think. What about science students? CEC really post internships in biophys chem field. About science students, I think you can find the internships on your own. I mean, as I mostly do, I just find the company where I want to have an internship and just write directly to the HR. So you can do this too. You can do all the work on your own, but this is also good experience, I think. So I hope I've answered all your questions. I don't know if it is detailed enough. If you have any other questions, you can ask me or contact me in Telegram. So do you have any other questions? I think no.
Dana, thank you for your presentation, and thank you for
Okay.
answering
You're
all the
welcome.
questions.
Thank you everyone for coming, for joining us, for listening to our peer advisors and mentors about their experience. So I guess we may to proceed to the next speaker. If you have questions, do not hesitate to contact any peer advisor, any mentor. Bye.
Thank you, Dana. And on the topic of the science students, our next speaker, mentor, is Elmira Mirzakupova. She is actually a third-year electrical and computer engineering student, and she will share her experience of getting internship in the first year of education. Elmira, the floor is yours. Elmira, you did not unmute you. Please, can you unmute your mic?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi everybody. My name is Elmira, and I'm a third year electrical and computer engineering student right now. And yeah, let's start our presentation. So yes, today I'm going to talk about how to find engineering-related internship in your first year of education. Why I chose this topic is because personally I think that for all engineering students it's really important to take internship related to their specialization. By practice you can learn much faster and much productive in some way. And many students, many freshmen engineering students face with such problems that most of the engineering companies, I would tell 95% of engineering companies require at least completed second year of education to be applied to this internship. Why so? Because according to our general program of engineering students, you don't have enough knowledge that your freshman year in your specialization. You have only basic knowledge of engineering, and for employers, it's better to accept students that already have some experience, already has enough knowledge. Unfortunately, but I believe that if you don't have enough knowledge right now, you can always learn it by doing it. And it's just a matter of your desire and matter of your willingness to work hard and work smart. So I got this opportunity. In my first freshman year, I got a 1 month certified internship in the Ministry of Energy. And of course, it's not directly related to electrical engineering, but it's slightly related to engineering itself because you cannot work in the Ministry of Energy if you don't know what is energy and what is electricity in general. So if somebody of you don't know, this is how building of Ministry of Republic of Kazakhstan look like. It's located in Nur-Sultan. And in short, what I did there, I got access to the data provided by all engineering or electrical engineering companies located in Kazakhstan, or oil companies located in Kazakhstan, and I calculated if their data is correct and this company provides true data or not to the ministry. And also I analyzed some perspectiveness of future projects which related to electricity, oil and gas sphere, which can be shown in a Green Energy Waste Recycling Forum, which is sponsored by Ministry of Energy, which you can see there. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you exact what future projects I analyzed because I signed a special contract, which I will mention later. And also, I want to warn you, if you will work on a ministry, the security for them is not a joke. So all intern and all work in the Ministry of Energy has, in the ministry itself, has this access card there, white card, which is directly connected to your ID card. So after all the time when you leave the building, is automatically deactivated the card, so you cannot go inside the building without this card. And after all lunch, every time after lunchtime, I need to go and get this access card again and again. Moreover, this card doesn't work for all the buildings, so you cannot go from there to this one. It works only on special role, which is special for each worker in a ministry. And for me, I got access only for a couple of rooms, for a couple of cabinets. What else? In a ministry, there is no smart devices. I mean, personal, no smart devices. So you, before going inside the building, you must leave all your smartphone, smart clocks, smartwatch, your laptop in a special boxes before going inside the building, because the ministry, you understand that this is a privacy, and you cannot go there just easily. About the contract, I want to tell you that in many companies they require you to sign the contract. In my case, there were трехсторонний договор, three-side contract, and there was a problem that according to university, university doesn't allow students to sign such contracts. Why? Because it's maybe dangerous for the student, because such contracts have a lot of details, and it takes a long time for me to that they allowed me to sign this contract. Moreover, I want to warn you, if you find such an internship that requires you to sign this contract, and if you're under 18, you cannot sign it by yourself. So you need parents or persons that are responsible for you and who can sign it. So it can be more problematic for you if you're under 18. Well, let's on to another part, where to find internships. I found my internship in CSN.KZ, is our Korean Advising Center. And there are plenty of internships. I will advise you to look at it at the spring semester, because in the spring semester, many companies upload their internships there. Also, for engineers, plenty of different associations. Personally, I was a long time in a Society of Petroleum Engineers, SPE, and also there, for example, American Institute of Chemical Engineers, IEEE is an association of electrical engineering, and so on. And such organization, they provide some trainings. So you can see there are some trainings where you can learn more and get some certificates. But you need to be aware that they provide such trainings only for their official members. So you need to have official membership, which will cost you some money, around $10 to $19 per year. So it's a 1 year membership. So yeah, for some of you it can be pricey. When I applied to this internship, I applied also my CV resume and motivation letter. Let's talk about CV resume. Of course, when you're a first year student, your CV resume cannot be very powerful, and it's absolutely normal. In my case, it may be powerful because during my fall semester, I got an invitation from the professor to become a part of his research team. Maybe this point was very powerful in my case. But how you can improve your CV right now? Right now, all students can get a free certificate till December on Coursera, and I really encourage you to learn why we have this opportunity. You can get this opportunity on Coursera. There are plenty of different courses, and also EDX. EDX is similar to Coursera, but it doesn't have free certificates, but you can learn it for free there too. Also for engineers, it's really important. I think for every student, it's really important to become a leader in his specialization. And for students, for engineering students, your CV will be really powerful if you have some projects which you involve there. For example, if you have some startup, or you participated in some case championships in hackathon, and so on. So right now, you can include if you was a leader in some university course projects, or even though you wasn't a leader you can include it too, I think. And also some Republic Olympiad will be plus for you right now. About the motivation letter is also very important. I think for employer is really shows how much you wanted to get this internship and how much you're ready to work. If you have some problems with writing, it's absolutely normal. I advise you to go to our writing center. It works right now online, and you can get your writing skills. So this is all, and you're welcome to ask any questions if you have. So let me stop sharing. Okay. Was the internship just like expected? Was it really difficult? There were always people who helped you in practice. Well, it wasn't. Internship wasn't like I expected. To be honest, because I expected it to be more connected to engineering. But of course, then I understood that I really, on your freshman year, you don't have enough knowledge to be directly electrical engineering intern. You need to work a little bit with data, with some papers. Was it really difficult? Well, it wasn't really difficult. I would say that it was really interesting for me. And to be honest, people who help you in practice. You know that other people work there, so they get some payment for their work, and sometimes other workers they just don't have enough time to help me. But of course, if you ask them, they will always help you. What is the best way to collect our CV? So you need to do it by yourself. See, there are plenty of different design programs, for example, Canva and so on. That's all, yeah. You said that you have research with professor in fall semester. Was it in your first year? Yes, it was in my first year. I got an invitation from professor to become a part of his research team. Yes, so it was in my freshman year. What advice can you give on time management? Well, to be honest, my time management isn't that perfect, but what you can do to improve it? I think maybe motivation can help you to improve it. For example, you need to do the priority list. What is important for you right now? Either the study, either the working experience, or any other activities. So by this priority list, you just understand for what types of working experience you need to work more. I guess will it be possible to have an internship this year during the pandemic? Well, it is possible. It is really possible. I would say maybe for a first year student it will be more difficult, but personally I had some online experience of internship. So yes, as I said before, it's just a matter of your desire, matter of your willingness to work. What question did you have in the interview for the internship? Well, as I said, for my internship in the Ministry of Energy, I didn't have an direct interview, but I had another interview for another company, SAP company. What questions? Basically, the questions is about your already explained about your CV. For example, they asked me about my research experience, about my projects that I got involved. Also, they for engineers, they can give you some problems that you can solve, that you need to solve. If you cannot solve it during 5 minutes, well, probably you won't get an answer for them. from them? I mean, can we have internships in December? Difficult question. I think, yeah, maybe some online internship, but not offline internships. Is having a research background, being assistant in your field is necessary for science students? No, I don't think so, because it's like a big plus if you had a research background, but for example, in working experience, they're more concerned about you being involved in a real-time project. So research is more about like discovery, but projects like startups is more about the work itself. So I think it's necessary to have some maybe projects, but not research. Research is not mandatory. How did you manage to combine the university and internship? Wasn't it hard to keep going? Well, I had my internship during the summer period. So yeah, I didn't combine it like my university and internship, but I had some internship on the second year, which was during the basic academic seminar, and it was kind of difficult, to be honest. But you need to just understand that if you like in a real work, you cannot say that, oh, I have a deadline and I cannot do the work on time. There is no such an option, and you just need to keep a priority. What kind of activities would help me to improve my CV for an internship? For an internship, as I said before, such activities like maybe some volunteer activities, for example, not the basic volunteer activities, for example, like some big events which connected to your sphere. For example, I was an organizer of oil and gas symposium. You need to be a member of some societies, some big societies, some clubs, and so on. Can we do an internship while studying? Yeah, you can do it, but it will be somehow difficult. In general, what is deadlines for summer internship? Deadlines, I would say that yes, April, somehow like that. Credit bearing internship can be done only during fall, spring, summer semester. So in December, it is hard to make it credit bearing. You need to take, oh yeah, yes. What if I'm not an engineer, but I want to have an internship during my first year? I guess Dana talked about it, how to get an internship during, if you're another student, maybe not engineer. But I think for not engineer students, there are plenty of opportunities, plenty of internships. For engineers, it's harder to find internship during first year because, as I said, during first year you just don't have enough knowledge. So that's all. You just learn the basics of engineering. Well, I think that's all. So thank you guys. We will move on. So,
thank you, Elmira, for your presentation. It was a wonderful presentation. And now we're moving to Darina Zhanusova, who is a third year political science and international relationship student, and she will share her experience doing internship at the STEP. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Then I will share my screen. Okay. Okay, hello everybody. First of all, thank you for joining the meeting. It's really cool to see 50 of you here. So my presentation won't be about some sort of real major related internship because it's about journalism, about being an editor. So I'll be talking just a little bit about my own experience at the STEP, and mostly I'll be talking about how you should apply, what should you do, and actually what are the benefits of internship at the STEP. Okay, we'll start with the basics. So how you should apply? Well, the easiest thing you can do is you should email them at info@thestep.com. And they're very friendly, and the responses are usually quick. But if you want a quicker response, so you should attach your CV or portfolio, or if you don't have any portfolio, then that's not actually necessary, because as a first year student or as a foundation year student, you might not have a big bunch of things being done at the moment. So because I was an intern after the first year, but I had experience at Basta newspaper, so I was an editor-in-chief. But still, even if you don't have that kind of experience, it's still fine. Don't hesitate to So in the email, you should introduce yourself. You should list reasons for an application and indicate your place of residence, because if you're from Almaty, then you probably will be invited to an offline interview because the office is in Almaty. And if you're not from Almaty, you'll be invited on an online interview. And if possible, then you should also indicate your interest in journalism, like interest areas. Maybe you're interested in politics or in business or in some sort of social projects or in economics or sports. So you can indicate that, but again, it's not necessary. You can also proceed it, like continue talking about it on an interview. So how to actually prepare for an interview? So first thing first, don't be anxious. It's all right. It's not going to be really stressful. The people are really friendly, and more importantly, the interview will be in Russian because the media itself is like 85–90% lead in Russian. So don't be too anxious. It's not that big of a deal. And most probably you'll be invited for an online interview due to COVID-19 situation, which is even better because being not from Almaty, you still can do an internship, right? So during an interview, I would advise you to focus on your interests. It's really important during an interview to indicate your interest in particular topics, as I said before, like maybe it's women in business, maybe it's men in business, startups, social projects, human rights issues, or maybe even you want to do a research. For instance, I started doing a research, but I didn't have enough time and during finals in the university, so I didn't really finish it, but I started doing research on human trafficking in Kazakhstan, and other guys actually continued doing it. So maybe you're interested in some kind of topic and you really want to use any platform to show your research. So I think that's a really good opportunity to use. Additionally, try to align your interests with the media's current popular materials. Before an interview, I'd advise you to go through the website and see if there are any topics that are that align with your interests. Maybe some social projects again. Maybe some kind of events are happening and you want to write about them, and they didn't publish anything about it yet. And as again I said, chill. Don't be too anxious. It's all right. Editors are really welcoming and friendly. Okay, so here is the site. You can go there and see what are the current popular topics, let's say. As you can see here, it's news is the city. They usually publish materials about some events that happen in Almaty, in Astana, in Karaganda, I guess. They talk about society, business, entertainment, development steps. They also do publish materials in English. So if you have ideas about some English materials, you can write in that language. And they also have materials in Kazakh. Okay. So I guess one of the most important parts is what do they use. So why should you actually be an intern in the staff, which is actually not about your major at all, which is about journalism. We know that we don't teach journalism in Nazarbayev University. We even know that we don't have any courses that are related to journalism, right? Especially in Russian. So no, there are still good reasons for doing that. And there are 3 reasons that I listed. First is networking, pretty obvious. As an intern editor at the staff, you'll get to know like many people. And mostly they will have very interesting backgrounds. That might be a scientist, businesswomen, businessmen, artists, people who are working with startups, social workers, what is more important than that is that they will get to know you. So they will be familiar with you and they will know you, and maybe you will become interested in some of their projects, and maybe in the future, after you finish your internship, you will join some of their projects. So these things happen. And I was also, after my internship, I was also invited to different events, to different organizations when they were starting new projects. So I think that's a very good opportunity. Second is writing. We know that nowadays it's really important to be, to make your ideas understandable and readable, to convey those ideas appropriately. And it's really not that easy as it seems, even in Russian. And I think that the STEP is one of these media outlets that actually can teach you write properly and actually communicate your ideas, make them understandable, and maybe pick some interesting ideas, because it's not always that easy. So in this outlet, you will learn that. And third thing is that I always say that opportunities create opportunities. So being at the STEP, you will also have a number of other opportunities. You will be attending various company presentations, poetry and art events, TED Talks, and other events. And again, it's the part of networking. And again, you'll be able to reach to a lot of people who might in the future invite you to their projects and events, and etc. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the further employment, because after my 2 months of internship, I was invited for further employment, to be employed in this STEP. And it's actually not that hard, because after an internship, the organization, the company knows you well. They can trust you. They know that you are doing very good. And for that, because of that, they can easily employ you. You can do part-time job and full-time job. I did a part-time job because I was studying in Nazarbayev University, and it's not that easy to do a full-time job studying at NU. But if you really want to be further employed at the time when you're applying for an internship, you can indicate it during an interview. You can say like something like, after my internship of 2 months or 1 month or 3 months, I wish I could be employed. And if they know it beforehand, then they will be thinking about that from the very beginning, and maybe they will employ you, right? That's a really nice opportunity, because part-time job is always good when you're a student. So just a little bit about my own experience. So in 9 months, 2 months I was an intern, and 7 months I worked there. I was employed. I've published a total of 109 articles. So I had mostly, well, I started as writing about startups mostly at the beginning, but near to the middle of my work, I decided that startups are not really my thing, and I switched to sciences and switched to individuals. So I mostly interviewed people, not about some projects, but what about they do. For instance, mostly I took interviews from people of NU, like here you can see Anara Molkenova and Professor Atabayev, who are professors at our university, Diar Tokmuzin, who works at our lab, Ardak and Durvutkan, who again are professors. I also talked about really about topics which are quite taboo in Kazakhstan, and that's one of the reasons why you actually should apply the STEP, because that's the platform that you can use to communicate your interests again. I wrote an article about LGBTQ community. I wrote an article about sex education in Kazakh. I wrote articles about climate change. I wrote articles about Kazakhstani education. So when you are publishing such an article with a big team behind you, such as the STEP, you're not afraid of anything, right? Because you have a great team which is editing your article before publishing it. So that's why I think most of us have these topics that they think they want to talk about and they don't really find a platform. Then I think that this is one of these platforms that you can use. I think that's all. I will stop my. Actually, this is my email. So if you have any questions, I'm still communicating with the STEP team, so I can maybe recommend you if you want to. You can email me. Okay, I will stop screen share and maybe is there any questions? Okay. Actually, it's not related only to journalism. They do look for photographers, for videographers, for designers, for illustrators. So because I was a journalist, I was an editor. For this reason, I talked about it. But they actually look for any kind of people, I guess, maybe social media managers or anything like that. They really are welcoming in that way. Are there any questions? Any other questions? Okay, I think there are no questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darina, for your presentation. And now I think we finished our presentations about internships.